dive into the current limited formats. Packmates are a group of friends that love drafting, hanging out, and going to FNM. I'm Robi, the resident turtle expert.
I'm Andrew, the resident mid-range expert.
And I'm Ryan, the resident aggro expert.
And
We are the Packmates.
Packmates.
Was that a long enough and for you guys?
It really was.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lead into Andrew. Ryan actually wasn't at FNM this week, so he's just here to talk shit. But Andrew, why don't you tell us about your FNM deck?
So Andrew's deck is a black-green deck with Urborg Lurgoyf. That's a mistake. Urg Spawn and Turg. And Urborg Lurgoyf is the X and 1+X, where X is the number of creatures in your battle card in your battlefield, right?
Yep.
Power is equal to power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures in your battlefield. Toughness is +1.
Yeah.
Looks like Andrew has 2 bone splinters, 2 cut downs. Those don't look very good in his deck because that's his only removal. He's got 1 battle rage blessing and then just a bunch of bodies. Oh no, not even that many bodies. He's got 3 shadow prophecies.
Yeah.
Which are the draw 2, lose 2 for domain. He does have a Bortuck. He is playing a meteorite. That's never a good sign.
It doesn't even fucking make sense. Like, what are you ramping from? From 5 to 6? Like that's like a land, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
That is like a land. It's very close.
I'm
to
so deeply offended.
He
by
just put it in so he could kick Urborg Lurgoyf. I know Andrew.
Oh yeah.
He put it in to kick Urborg Lurgoyf. That's the only reason.
You could have literally just put in an island. It would have been infinitely better.
Islands don't deal 2 damage to face.
I am gonna say 2 wins, but that's being generous.
I went 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was my first fucking lean, honestly. But
I went 1 and 2, but there's something in this game called variance, and I had gotten completely mana screwed in my second round, like just really bad. And then I got flooded. I think I drew 14 lands, like back to back, keeping a 5-lander. It's the lose. And then the next round, actually the same thing happened. I got color screwed is what ended up happening in 1 game. And then that 13 and 3 lands that does I don't know how that worked. That did not work out. I was actually more of a 6 forest with the dual land. But yeah, it's just a lot of mana screw and a lot of mana flood. Like I couldn't do anything about it. Like you're just sitting there, you just don't get to play Magic. You just sit there and watch your opponent beat you down.
6 forests?
Yeah, it's 6 forests.
Oh man. That kind of seems a little like a lot.
Yeah.
Like you don't really need the forest, right?
I did when I drew all my green cards.
Yeah. But there's only 4, right?
Yeah. The bone splitters hurt a little bit, I will say, just because my creature count was so light, but it was so good with the conscripts and like some of the
soul tenders.
And the soul tender, it was pretty decent. The leech was pretty good. It was always, like a 8. It was always like a 7/7 or whatever it is with that writhing necromass. So the monstrous leech,
You always hit the writhing necromass? That's insane.
It was pretty sick, man. It was actually pretty decent. And then I just like fired off shadow prophecies. It didn't feel that bad. It felt like an extremely late game type of deck, though. That's for dang sure. But
yeah, I went to no early games.
I mean,
I don't even know about the late game.
The late game was decent. I mean, once you establish control on that, like the Urborgs, the Bortucks, the Eerie Soul Tenders, you just get a lot of value.
I mean, don't get it twisted. Like Urg Spawn and Turg can like win games basically by himself that you have no business winning, right?
Yeah.
Bortuck can help with that, but like after that, man, it just I don't know. It doesn't look that good. It looks like if they had like a 2/2 flyer and you didn't draw a cut down, you're just losing the game.
2/2 flyers died of meteorites, though.
That's true. That is true. On turn 5, they've only done 8 damage.
Or the cut down too. Or the cut down. Just don't forget the cut down.
Yeah, the cut. That's what I'm saying. You had to draw a cut down or whatever. It would suck to sack one of your dudes to kill a flyer.
Yeah,
cut down's good though.
Cut down is good.
Yeah. It wasn't the best deck, that's for dang sure. But it was definitely it was something interesting. I never had the self-mill kind of strategy before. And it wasn't my favorite.
Andrew, you literally play this deck every week. like you always have soul tenders and
I mean, this deck would have been fine if he had like 2 or 3 extinguished lights. I think it would have been good.
Yeah, there was just no real
Oh.
removal on that table. Like I really picked up all the black removal I really could, and it
What
was just
looks mega sus to me is the vine wall. I know it's there for like bone splinters and stuff,
yeah,
but like, it almost seems like green is like a light splash in this
yeah.
deck.
This deck was basically mono black. Maybe I
Yeah,
should have taken a cue from friggin' Magic Arena. Just played less forest than I did.
yeah. Like I would have run it probably like that.
Yeah,
You got
I mean,
four
yeah.
green sources for
I
4
think I would have
green
ran
cards.
6. Like
Yeah.
having 14 black sources feels like overkill, honestly.
Look at all the like double black shit.
Yeah, but like that's easy to get with the bucket with like 10 black sources. That's super easy to get with.
Yeah.
When he would actually
It's
have
like
11.
guaranteed to always have Choking Miasma mana open on.
Choking
on
Miasma
3,
was pretty
right?
good too. That was pretty good about stimming the bleeding early.
The way you were gonna win games is with Erg spawn and Turg on 3, and if you couldn't do that, you're gonna lose. So I support the 6 forests. I mean, maybe not the only way you're gonna win, but like that's a easy way for you to
Maybe
take
me in the middle. Can we meet in the middle and agree that 5 was the correct number?
maybe only because of the 3
Compromise.
shadow prophecies,
Oh yeah.
and he wants to double spell sometimes.
Ryan, you know how like you always say that looking at Andrew's decks makes you mad? Like that's how I feel this week. This deck makes me so mad. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, so that was the FNM for me. I mean, it was just, I don't know. It was just, I didn't really feel like I got to play Magic. I mean, really, getting mana screwed is really tough, and then getting flooded is even worse.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so it's a game. There's variance, and that's part of the deal.
Yep. All
right, Roby, tell me about your deck.
right. All right. So Ryan,
I'll tell
take
you
a
about
look
it.
at this.
I'll tell you about it.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me
let's
about
see
it,
here.
Ryan.
We got a teamer build here with 2 of the best rares in the set. Sphinx of Migration, Herd Migration and Sphinx of the Clear Skies, which Herd Migration is one that makes the 3/3s. The Sphinx is the super good Sphinx.
How many
Dual lands, a lot of dual
Yeah.
lands.
There's quite a few.
Quite a few dual lands. Got Niall, you got the Voda Sea Scavengers. It looks like you have 0 removal, unless I'm missing something.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yep.
That seems like to be a problem.
Is it?
It seems like it is in this deck. It seems like that's why we're fucking losing. Honestly, like I mean, Sphinx and
I
Herd
know. I know. So like part of it was like I was trying to be more red green based in the beginning, and then I kind of moved into I still tried to kind of. I think I might have got a little too greedy with those 3 Phyrexian espionages.
Yeah. This is another deck. It looks like that the front of your curve doesn't really support the back of your curve. You got Neoshelp
really
Brawler.
Does. I've got Brawler. I've got Vine Shaper Prodigies, which is a 4
Vine Shaper Prodigy is a 4-drop, but if you do it on 4, that's not good in your deck. I mean,
getting to
Voda Sea Scavengers are good in your deck.
Extremely impactful 5 to 7 drops.
Yeah.
Vine Shaper Prodigy is good.
I think my
deck's too slow to do that on 4. I feel like.
Like
all you have to do, like all your cards that cost 3 or less should either help you find your rares, which I guess Vine Shaper Prodigy does, or help you survive. And a lot of these cards don't. They just don't. Like the Root Walla, you're never gonna like the Root Walla is just a vanilla 2/2 in this deck, as much as I hate to say it. You can never afford to keep 4 up to block. You can never afford to keep 4 up to block.
I'm attacking.
You're literally never pumping the Root Walla.
I'm attacking though. I'm attacking.
Bro.
I'm not like the living. That's why I think the Phyrexian espionages were a mistake. I'm playing 2 drops and I'm sending them in. I'm curving. I'm not so much like you get it twisted that this is just like a late game ramp deck.
That's what it should be, right?
It kind of is, but like my 2 drops are meant for swinging, and that's why I have all the. That's why I don't think I needed the removal as much. I probably need more Gaia's Mites and stuff, but.
So how did you lose? I mean, okay. First off, you probably got 1 win, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly.
I
got mana screwed super hard.
You got mana screwed too?
Yeah.
How many? Let's count your source count here. How many red sources do you have? 2, 4, 6, 8.
My mana's good.
7? Yes, 7 red sources.
Yeah.
Green sources 4. 7
green
sources, and blue sources is 2. 5, 6.
5. Yeah.
6.
Yeah, this is good. Like my mana's super good. I
Yeah, 6 is a little bit
so one
sussy.
of my
Running that plains is pretty greedy.
one of my
Uh,
mistakes was not running automatic librarian. Genuinely, this deck
Okay.
needed it. It
Um,
needed proactive
it would have been
ways.
better than Berserker. It would have been better than
It
Badger.
would have been
probably.
better than a Phyrexian Espionage. Berserker is just like the dumbest thing in the world. If you ever cast like a Gaia's Might on it, it's
Yeah,
like
it can
so
be.
stupid. Yeah,
Yeah, it can
it's
be.
good. It's
But
good.
it's
With pump spells,
I just don't
Berserker
see
is
you
way
being
better.
aggressive. I just see you getting blown
I
out by like
was being
deck.
aggressive.
Really?
Yeah, I was trying to be. That's like how I won games.
I see. That's interesting. That's very interesting to me. I guess. I guess you do have like get 8 damage in before you get to your top end, and then your top end basically takes over.
One game, I definitely like my round 2. So I lost to Andrew, which just like tilted the shit out of me. Because like I was like, dude, how the fuck is this deck losing to Andrew? Like, come on, come on. He's got a meteorite in his deck. I saw the meteorite after the game. I was like, fuck you, Andrew.
Meteorite,
I
Meteorite
was
is
like,
It's
on
true.
the same power level as Bog Badger.
There you go.
that's not true. Absolutely not true. Like, we can look it up, but like, Bog Badger serves a purpose, okay? And that's giving your guys menace, right? Like, have you ever lost to a Bog Badger?
Sure. No, never.
Yeah, you haven't played enough. Dude, like, Bog Badger's scary. Like, if I can, like, get him in,
You have
like,
to have
let's
a
say,
very certain deck type where you're gonna always have more bodies than your opponent, and this deck doesn't.
so menace works real good with combat tricks, right?
True. You only have like I guess you have 3 combat tricks.
Yeah.
But you're not
That's what
gonna
I was
have
trying to have more, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean I guess you could have 5 mana,
like
but
that.
6
Yeah.
mana and
6
swing
manas.
in and like playing your Bog Badger and swing with 2 open feels
It's not
kind of
ideal.
hard to do in this
Not
deck.
ideal for sure, but yeah, this deck should have done a lot better. I was disappointed.
I mean, if you had some Tolarian Geysers and some Lightning Strikes, I think it would have been good.
all right. I did have the 2 best rares in the set though. A mythic. I was so tilted. Yeah.
Well,
I
2 of
definitely
the best 3.
I
Yeah.
definitely like learned my lesson from last week, and like I had a real curve, right? I did learn my lesson, and I grabbed ramp.
Oh yeah,
get to
like
my bomb.
if you
Yeah.
played
Like, this
Andrew's
is
deck
better.
1,000 times, you
Yeah,
probably
I
win.
said that. I said
I
it was
think I
like
said that
9 out of
too.
10. 9
Yeah.
out of 10. 9
Not
out
9
of
out
10.
of 10. No,
Probably not that high, but
probably like 70%.
I don't know
I
about
mean, I would say personally.
Yeah, I think so.
personally, I think it's more about 51%, but yeah.
Shut the shit. Yeah. Like, yeah, just 49% of the time I just get blown out by meteorite.
And broken wings. The broken wings out of the sideboard.
Yeah, he sided
It
in
did blow
broken
up you.
wings, which fuck.
For Niall and Sphinx.
It
Yeah.
blew him up, man.
Which you got in game 2 and game 3.
Yeah, just got him.
I mean, Niall's super good. Defiler, Red Defiler is good.
I suicided
Seems kinda-
myself. I definitely like put myself to 1 needlessly in game 2 of the second round because I just like ran someone over in game 1. And so in game 2, like I was getting pretty low, but I was at 5 life and I used its ability to cast 2 red permanents to kill one of his creatures and put myself to 1 life. And then I just died the next turn to like lightning strike.
Yeah,
Like,
that sucks.
yeah, I got a little too greedy
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, if it was like necessary, then it was necessary. But you know what I mean? Like, if you had to kill
Yeah.
those creatures or lose, you're gonna lose anyway if you didn't do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah,
How was Negate?
like bad. I wish I didn't have to play it. I wish it would have been like a Furious Bellow. It would have been better.
Yeah, or
Genuinely.
Gaia's Might definitely would have been better. Right?
Guy is mine for sure, but like even like a Furious Bellow.
Furious Bellow costing 2. I mean, how
Yeah.
often were you able to just leave 2 up?
You swing in on 3, right? Like you just
I
leave
mean-
mana open and you swing in.
Yeah, I mean
Right.
that's what you do sometimes.
That's what you do, Ryan, right? Like
I mean,
it's the art of the swing, right?
kind of, but like
Like you're not
You-
using it defensively. You think I was using Furious Bellow defensively?
I think you needed to, is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. I think you needed to use your 3 buff spells. That's all you have to control the board. I mean, really, that's
wasn't
literally
trying
all
to.
you
I was-
have.
I was just swinging in. Like, this was like not the normal Robi deck, right?
I get that. I get that.
Look at how many bodies there are. It was
I
just
get. I
swinging.
do get that. But like some cards don't go together with the just. I'm just swinging in deck.
It's the
right?
blue that doesn't go together, right?
Well, it's like the Scout the Wilderness. It's the Phyrexian Espionage.
Yeah.
It's the
blue cards, basically.
electrostatic infantry. Really, that like I mean maybe got one counter over the course of a game.
Yeah.
Ever. But yeah, I mean the Vine Shaper Prodigy is like fine. Niall is gonna be good just because it's an evasive. Obviously, your top end's good, but just I mean the espionages are good, but 3 does seem like overkill. But if your deck was like truly aggro enough, 3 would be fine. You know what I mean? Like, but obviously, since you have the Sphinx and the Herd Migration, that just warps how I would play this deck. Because like I'm just gonna play to win.
Maybe
with
I
those
didn't
cards.
need the ramp.
Like you could have definitely cut one Phyrexian Espionage if you wanted to keep the ramp, and because they're kind of the same slot, right? Like
yeah.
Scout the Wilderness and
nothing
Phyrexian
for
Espionage, yeah.
I should have
but
played the Librarian.
Yeah.
I genuinely should have.
I think in this set,
I
like,
had it in the deck, and then somebody came and touched it on it.
I'm not like I'm still
Somebody-
I'm gonna
somebody was
stand
like,
by.
didn't you sign a pact to never play it?
I'm gonna stand by my word and never play it, but I do see the value in it.
You're wrong.
in
We're
this.
wrong. I apologize. It's good.
I see
It's
the
not
value in
good.
it because in this set, if you get like out variance, you just lose games.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
more so than other sets, which I know that's like redundant and obvious, right? But like
Well,
if you just can't hit your stuff to do, then
Super unforgiving.
it is unforgiving. But like I'd way rather play Voda Sea Scavengers over it. I'm starting to lean into those a little bit more whenever I'm Splash Blue. What do you think about that? Do you like the Voda Sea Scavengers more?
no, I think the Librarian might be better because of the scrying.
There
It's
is
not
some truth to
good
that,
too.
right? Like, especially in this deck, right? So, like, if I'm on 3, I've played all my lands, and then I hit a Sphinx of the Clear Skies or a land, like, I have to basically choose between them, which is terrible and feels super bad, right?
Sure.
Super sketch. Like you say, just put the best card on top, right? But it's never.
Well,
like,
you would take the land if you're stuck on 3. You'd never take the Sphinx there.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't have literally anything else to do next turn, or you had a 3-drop to play next turn.
Yeah.
But like I think you
But
have
like
to take
that
the land.
adds all sorts of like unnecessary complexity to a game. Right.
Like this is the impulse argument, right? Versus that the Scry 2 draw one. Like impulse is just better, right?
Because you see more cards.
Yeah. I mean that's what you guys told me before the set
Kind
started.
of, but like the thing
Kind of.
is you can play it. You can play impulse at like instant speed, right? Like so you can like kind of plan out where you're gonna use it to like I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
I mean it's basically the exact same things on the stick. It's Scry 2 on a stick or look at the top X on a stick and pick one.
But also the Librarian, just because it's colorless too, isn't that like kind of make up for it a little bit?
Like I still hate Librarian.
Like
But I think
if
it's
you look
as good as Voda Sea Scavenger.
if you look at Robi's mana base and you look at all the time he put in to get all those lands,
Yeah.
wouldn't it kind of feel like a letdown to be playing Librarian when your mana base is so good? Like
that is true, right?
yeah.
Like, but
you
like
just like the
I could
reason
have
you
had
get
the
that mana
Librarian
base.
too, right?
Yeah, but the reason you get that mana base is so you can play better cards, right? That's the whole reason that we take those lands, is so that way the cards that we play are just better on average than my opponent's cards.
Mm-hmm.
And when we put bad cards in our deck, it lowers our chance to win by a lot. And now automatic Librarian is not as bad as like I initially said. It does have merit, and the Scry 2 is big, but I'm still never gonna play because I said I wouldn't, and I'm a man of my word. But I understand that people play it more, especially after I've been playing the Voda Sea Scavenger.
I didn't play it in this deck. I was a man of my word during this draft.
That's true.
I was a man of my word
But
during this draft.
I mean, I get it.
And being a man of my word made me lose more. Like for sure.
I mean, I think it would have been
that
better
out.
than the Badger
Took
or
that
the
out.
Berserker or the Scout. Yeah. But yeah. when you have when you have such good rares too, like obviously the value of scries and all that stuff
And
just goes
draw,
up.
and that's like why I
Yeah.
was running 3 for XC and espionage. Was like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, 3 fraction espionage are good. You just
it's
to
not
me
really
needed like
that
a
good.
tiny bit of removal, 2 to 3 pieces of instant speed removal,
Mhm.
like deal 4, gain 4, a lightning strike, even a Talarian geyser. Just I think would have just you'd have been fine.
Yeah, I ended up going 1-2.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
It is.
That's so sad. I was like, I'll never get to open Herd Migration and Sphinx of the Clear Skies ever
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is tough. They're so good.
Yeah, but the next day was our store championship
Ooh.
at our local game store, and I was the only representative from the Packmates there. I wasn't
I,
going to go,
I wanted to be
but
known that I had a wedding this weekend, so I couldn't come to anything. I'm
I had a
sorry.
major fundraiser to oversee on Saturday, so I could not be there. I had work obligations.
yeah, tell me your excuses, whatever. But as the sole representative there, I was already mad. Like I went into this draft just so mad from the day before. So like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay disciplined. I'm gonna like pick an archetype and not just take all the lands and go into 5-color domain. Auto. Like I start this draft. I open up like a golden Argosy, which I'm like, oh man. I guess I'll take this just in case I see a chaplain, right? Like, because that's the dumbest thing on the planet. But basically, I still just ended up in 5-color nonsense. But this might be the nuttiest deck I've drafted all format. Why don't you give me a rundown on this one, Ryan?
Right away it does look better than your
Oh,
last
yeah.
one.
This
Besides
is
the top.
nutty. This deck was super nutty.
So this is another base teamer deck, but splashing 5 colors for Leyline Binding and Urtai Resected and Solar Windgrace. So the splash is under control here. I mean, we really only have 3 splash cards, right? So that's
Some
good.
pretty good ones, yeah.
The lands are not quite as good, but they seem good enough for this,
Yeah.
for sure. And I'm assuming you had no land troubles, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
well,
casting the
yeah,
Elder
well,
Dragon War.
Elder
Casting the Elder
Dragon
Dragon
War,
War was
yeah.
looks like it was a problem.
Yeah.
Like I think jamming that planes in. Oh no, you needed that.
For Leyline Binding.
Yeah, you needed the planes. You didn't have many white
Yeah.
dualies.
Man, it was kind of sketch for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. The more I'm looking at it.
But look at the power in this deck though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This deck is
nutty.
very strong.
Shivan Devastator, Leyline Binding, double Nishoba Brawler. I mean, that is just some real good stuff there.
2 Gaia's Might and 2 Nishoba Brawlers is usually enough to win some games.
Yep.
Like
Literally. Like I had a game. Okay, so round 1, I get paired against the 1 seed. So I was like, dang it. This is gonna be so hard. Just had the nuts. He just had like the nuts red blue deck. Like Hottie Gens, Balmors, like all the stuff. And I get it in game 1. And then in game 2, I go to like 1 life. I'm like, all right, he's got a haunting figment on the battlefield.
Oh, jeez.
And any instant or sorcery kills me. So I like faded it like 2 turns and ended up swinging out. He was at 10 life. And my only creature that could get through was the Flowstone Kavu. And I just double Gaia's Mighted it.
oh, disgusting.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
gross.
That's
Felt
hilarious.
broken. It felt unfair, right? Like,
Yeah. Plus
Yeah,
10
this-
plus. Oh, it was probably was it 10-10 or was it 8-8?
it was a 10-10.
Oh,
It was a. I think I even got like the extra 2 points because I think it was
Well, I'm saying did Gaia's Might give 5 or did it give 4?
5. So it would have
my
been a
God,
12.
yeah.
I haven't
Well,
pumped
and
it.
then you could have yeah,
I
drained it a little
even
bit.
pumped it once.
man.
Just to have extra lethal, right?
Yeah. Just in
Like,
case.
It's important. to
Just in
have
case
the
you could
extra lethal.
gain 3 from the
Even said
from
it
the
something
hand.
about. He's like, you just pumped it too. Like, it's like,
Wow.
oops, extra lethal. But yeah, I went 2-1 with this deck, but I lost to a super hyper aggro deck.
Yeah, with
And
Elder
variance.
Dragon
The
Water
level
Rotten in
5
your
and
hand.
ended up losing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That happened. Is that what happened? Yeah.
That's what happens, right?
Oh, jeez.
So then we ended up cutting to top 8. And before the draft started, everyone voted whether or not they wanted to redraft after top 8, which I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I was like one of like 3 people that did that. So
Wait.
we ended up redrafting.
You voted yes or no? Sorry.
I voted no. I did not want to redraft.
Yeah.
Why? I think you
Especially-
always do.
No, this deck was nutty.
I mean,
like,
you voted before you drafted, though, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, but still, like, I
No.
didn't want to redraft.
But like, what if you got the pod with like the weaker cards? You know what I mean? Like, what if the other pod's power level of cards was just significantly better than yours?
What if it wasn't like? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, like,
but you
like,
you just have more control. I think.
I didn't want to be there for like 9 hours, right?
Yeah.
That's
like,
fair.
like it started at 1, and I didn't leave till like 7, right? Like,
Oh my gosh.
yes,
Yeah.
and I got knocked out, right? Like I got knocked out of the top 8 because they cut to top 8, and then it was single elimination.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
Oh my gosh.
oh, well, a couple things about this though, Ryan. What pick order do you think I got these cards?
Oh.
Like in the pack.
Well,
Like
I'm guessing-
I want you to know how disciplined I was in this pack.
I'm guessing Balmore was your sign that you're gonna.
No,
beat
I'm
it.
talking about the first deck. The first deck.
Oh, the first deck.
Yeah, let's start with all these rares because I have a lot of rares, right? What
Yeah.
order do you think I got these in packs?
I feel like you picked one to Shoba Brawler.
I didn't, but I second picked in the Showboat Brawler.
Okay.
I
so
packed
then-
one, picked one, a golden Argosy.
I'm
Oh, yeah, you
surprised you
said
didn't
that.
play
You
the
did say that.
Argosy.
I could have, but it's
I don't think it
cute.
would have been that good in this.
It wouldn't
deck.
have been that good, but
I mean, it's
I mean,
still-
Urtai would have been kind of sick.
yeah.
yeah, and it's
Argosy-
mega cute with Rhoda.
Yeah,
The-
Rhoda. It's super cute.
it
with
is
that.
adorable. That is.
Yeah,
adorable.
Rada,
But
Mary's
it's not actually
Outsider,
good.
Moss Beard Ancient. Actually, Argosy would have been sick in this deck.
I don't know. I considered it, but
I
I just
like,
got so many.
Oda
rares,
Sea
so-
Scavenger or the Automatic Librarian too. And it's just a body to get in the way of those heavy aggro decks.
Yeah. Okay. So, what out of the rares, what order do you think I picked these in the pack?
I mean, I have
You're gonna
no
be
way of
so
knowing.
mad.
Like you
You're
got him
gonna
late.
be
I'm
so
guessing you got
mad.
him late. Like Shivan Devastator, Elder Dragon War, both.
Okay, let's start with Shivan Devastator.
Okay,
pick?
which pack did you get it in? First off,
Pack 2,
pick 4.
3.
Wow.
Which is
That's still
so-
disgusting.
Wow.
That's stuff.
I can't believe you went all the way to 4 on that.
Whoa,
No.
he's hyping it up. So,
Oh,
Okay, so what about
Fair
this? Is the
like,
is the,
okay, but real quick, if you opened a Shivan Devastator pack 2, what would make you not take it? Is there anything?
I don't know. Oh man.
Is there any reason? I mean, like maybe you
Like
have
a
a second
foil
wing metal
Robi.
chaplain.
maybe yeah,
Like
Maybe.
maybe you got Savage Foil.
it's very good.
Yeah, but like,
It's very good.
like wouldn't you splash that basically no matter what?
I would.
I
But
would.
I'm
Yeah, I
not
would
the-
too. I would too. Okay.
Okay, so here's another one. Soul of Windgrace
What pack?
2,
Pack 2. That was probably 5.
6.
7,
Jesus
Actually-
Christ.
7. The guy next to me. You're not supposed to do this, but he like showed me, and he had Soul of Windgrace and a Johnny, a foil of Johnny. He's like, dang, which one do I pick? And
Oh,
I refuse to tell people which card to pick.
Especially
right?
at a store
I was like,
championship
oh,
like this.
I'll take it. And then I get to pick 8 and I pick up the pack. I'm like, what in the world is this Soul of Windgrace? Do you not just take that? What the hell is this? Like,
That's
and I was like, well, I guess I will play it. What about the Urtai Resurrected?
What pack?
This was 2. This was 2. I
That
got
was
all
also
these-
2.
man.
This is also 2.
Oh my god.
4.
No.
What?
No.
Like, what
No,
are they
guys.
what are people drafting if they're not taking Shivan Devastator or Urtai Resurrected?
I don't know.
Like,
But
those are different color buys.
So this one, I got on the wheel. I opened this and I was like, oh man, Urtai resurrected. I was like, no, Robi. So that morning, I read a Facebook post that said, discipline beats motivation. And I was like, be disciplined, Robi. Be disciplined because it beats motivation. And so I took a Nishova Brawler.
That's
Took the
fair.
Nishova Brawler. Like, it goes better in my deck. Like, it's
Yeah.
not as strong, right? And
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's
I
good.
saw the Urtai resurrected on the wheel. And I was like, oh man. Like, oh yeah.
How late were you getting these lands then if you were trying to be so
Not
disciplined?
very. I was just taking them like when there was nothing good. Right.
Yeah.
But this deck was nutty for sure. Like the Leyline Binding, I pick 3, pack 1. Pick 1. Pack 3, pick 1. But yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Seems
pretty
good.
solid.
When did you get the Elder Dragon War?
I think I've started with it. I don't think I got it. No, I did. I think it was like 3. I think it was coming. I think
Pack
it must
3?
have been like pack 1 or 2.
Mm.
1 or
Two
3. 1 or
2
3.
just seems like an insane pack for you.
Yeah.
Like
2 was like that pack.
it's so Roby that you came in saying, I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm gonna be disciplined. Jodas Codex, Solo Wind Grace, Airtime Resurrection.
Genuinely. Like I was just mad. I was just trying to win. I was just so salty from the night before, and then it just ends up the exact same thing. I literally draft every week, right? Like
that was hilarious.
I think realistically though, I do think this was the best deck I could build at the seat I was at.
Maybe. It seems like
seeing those early brawlers, I think that was like I gotta pick 3 brawler, I think.
It seems to me like maybe it would have been better to have a different supporting color than blue. It seems like your blue is not that good, and there's definitely from what you're telling me, there's definitely a world where you saw better black or white cards than you saw than a negate, a shore up, and a sea scavenger. Personally,
yeah,
especially black.
Yeah, I had a pretty disgusting sideboard on this deck too. Like my blue was way harder in the sideboard. Like I had like essence captures. I had like a terror. I had a bunch of stuff in the sideboard too. Like, and a lot of times I would just side out the negate for an essence capture. It might have been better just to have an essence capture or
essence scatter. Yeah.
Essence. Yeah, they're 2 different cards. Yep.
But
yeah,
which one's essence? Sorry, you're talking about essence scatter, right?
Scatter.
Okay. I was like, am I wrong?
Counter target creature. Yeah.
But it looks like if you had maybe instead of those 3 cards, maybe if you had Urborg Repossession, maybe an Extinguish the Light if your mana could support it, maybe something different. I don't know, like a cut down or you know what I mean? Like, might have been better. I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems like the shore up negate were a little bit redundant. It's like to me that's kind of like a one or the other.
Yeah, it was okay, but
yeah, it seems good. It seems fun.
Yeah, solid. The second draft definitely derailed into terrible. All right, so Ryan, why don't you go ahead and explain what?
Okay, this is blue, red, white, splashing black. Yeah, Jeskai, but splashing black for Archangel Wrath, which is 3/4 lifelink. That you can do 2 damage. Looks like we have 2 Warhost Frenzies with quick glance. 10 to 12 creatures.
12. It was 12. The top end of what you did.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was 12 and 12. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I didn't count, but I'm just doing some guessing.
You're close.
Which is not really where you want to be. Pick one Balmor Battle Mage?
No, I gotta pick 3.
What was your pack one?
I don't know if I was playing it. I don't remember.
There's a statistic that I heard from limited resources that the most likely card that if you pack one, pick one, the most likely common that you pack one, pick one that you're going to actually put in your deck is Lightning Strike. Like you're more likely to put that in your deck than any other common pack one, pick one. But anyway, that was just a cool thing I heard from limited resources.
But I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember your pack one?
I
It's all a blur.
genuinely don't.
It's
It
all
was a blur.
I mean, I
it is.
think
I'm falling
like
apart.
it
Real
looks like the Balmore Battlemates captain was like a good signal. Pick 3.
pick 3, right?
Yeah.
That means 2 people weren't in that.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily
Not-
mean that because pick
Yeah.
3 is like a little early. But considering the amount of Gitu amplifiers and haunting figments you got and Battlewing Mystic, I'd say it's like fairly fair to assume like you were close to, if not in the right color pie.
Yeah, like I was close, but like I think I was seeing the most of that. The problem was like there was never any of it ever wheeling.
Yeah,
So
that's tough.
at the end, there were 3 people in this deck,
Ugh.
which was why I was like trying so hard to like get out of it. That's why all these white cards are here. Because like after I saw nothing was wheeling, I was like, oh no, I need to get the hell out of red blue. Because like if there's another red blue drafter at the table, you
Yeah.
both have terrible decks. And
Yeah.
if there's 2 other red blue drafters at the table, like you're not getting there for sure.
So when did you decide to get out of it?
Pack 2, pick 1
Pack.
with the Archangel of Wrath.
That's so
Which-
nuts. I feel like you would have enough creature, you would have enough stuff even on pack 2 to just cut the red out and just go like a white.
So I should have known better. I should have known better than just like I will take the Archangel of Wrath no matter what. But like there was a certain person on my left in pack 2
Ugh.
who is very well known to draft white cards.
Whoa. He's back?
He
Yeah.
is back.
Yeah.
But,
Back, baby?
my
Wow,
boy.
that's-
We love him. We love him.
Yeah.
But there's someone that is very well known to pick only white cards.
That's the best
That's
news
when
I've
I
heard all night.
decided to go into white with him passing in pack 2.
Mm.
And there was none. There was none. I like saw like no white cards.
I think in a cut to top 8, I think in a cut to top 8 draft, single a limb, I think you kind of have to take the Archangel no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we said last week that maybe you shouldn't hate draft all the time, but when it cuts to top 8, it's different, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's like a super hyper competitive. There was a $200 card on the line.
Yep. And there's also cut to top 8 is different because you have to basically beat every single person there in single elimination format.
Yeah.
Basically. Right. Yeah. Every deck there can only be one winner out of 8 people. So
Yeah.
like you have to have the best deck. And Archangel Wrath is so good that you just can't pass it in a format.
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course.
So when we're talking about not hate draft, when we're talking about FNMs and not necessarily cut to top 8 and GPs and stuff like that, that definitely changes things.
Yeah.
Plus, you know you're going to be in the pod with them.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to play them or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
play the
play
deck that
against it.
beat them, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and if you pass an Archangel, whoever picks it up is probably gonna play it, and it's probably gonna do work for him, and it's probably gonna win them games. So you're probably gonna have to play him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that in a top 8 situation like that.
Yeah, it's super different. It's a super different draft when there's an 8-man pod, and you know you have to play like a single a limb. It just changes the dynamic of the draft a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
two Warhost, if the two Warhost free frenzies were like Phyrexian espionages,
Or
I feel
like
a lot better.
anything. like anything would have been better. Like
Those
an essence capture. Oh, dude, this just like did not work.
I took a
Impulse,
glance at this slide when we were prepping, and I was just like, what in the hell is this?
It wasn't the worst thing in the world, right? But like the mana was bad.
Like,
I got 5 white sources. Like I was struggling to cast Archangel.
Yeah.
like snap
Like-
judge. How many wins would this get? Like on on a 3-win
I could
On a-
probably get like 3 or 4.
On the
but-
Friday Night Magic.
on a F.
On the FNM or sorry, Magic Arena. I mean, Archangel's just gonna win you some amount of games by itself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
'Cause you
it's
can
pretty
play
strong.
it, but
It would have been nice to have like impulses or card draw.
Oh man, yeah.
I didn't
feel
really
like-
have that.
I feel like it's not really fair to judge like cut the top 8 decks though in a vacuum.
Yeah.
How
It's
did,
just a different environment. You know what I mean?
It
how did
really
the
is.
heirloom get in this deck?
Yeah, that's a good question. Get him, Andrew.
Andrew plays the heirloom, right?
Get 'em, get 'em.
Like,
That's coming from a
Like,
guy
I
who
needed-
plays an heirlooms, asking you how the hell did that get in there with that little amount of creatures?
Get 'em. Keep going.
there's a captain's call.
A captain.
Oh, there's a captain.
Oh man, I recant everything I said right now. 'cause
I mean, you do have flyers, you do have figments.
Flyers, and
but-
figments. Like, I have a lot of like evasive threats. All of my creatures are basically evasive threats, except Academy Wall and.
Go to Sea
Like,
Scavenger.
Go to
Sea
you do an
Scavenger.
amplifier.
But still, like,
Valerian terror.
dude, Ward is kind of an evasive ability, a little bit, like a very Wish brand.
So, how many games did this win?
Like games one, because
Oh,
I only had 3. So I made the top 8. The number 2 seed dropped, so I was number 3 seed, and I ended up getting someone who was like number 9 and lost a heartbreaker. I won game 1, lost game 2, super close, and then mulled to like 5 and just lost.
I'm so sad I wasn't there. 2 drafts in one day, man.
I know, man.
So much fun.
It was too much. I'm like burnt out. like I'm feeling way too much burnout.
I feel like if you'd have won, you'd been singing maybe.
I would
slightly
still
different
just like
tone?
not play Magic for like 2 weeks straight.
Really?
Like,
Even if you won,
yeah,
really? Wow.
yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah, those events can be kind of stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's rough. I really wish I was there to draft the second one, man. Ugh.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
I
seems
wish
like-
I could have just taken my round one deck over into that. I would have ate up. Apparently, like it was such a weird, extremely complicated draft though. Like there were no good green cards. I think there was like 2 different players literally just hating green cards because at the end no one was playing green.
Oh my gosh.
People were just hating green out. So like there was no way to get into green. I was like looking for it because like it was just super tough. I just got like somebody's sloppy seconds on a Izzet deck. And then someone else's sloppy seconds on like a blue-white deck. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Man, this is
That's
Yeah.
rough.
0
So,
rares, except
so
for
when you find yourself in that situation, what's the best thing to do when you
hard
are
force. Hard force.
when
hard force.
Yeah.
You have to just like genuinely, you just have to like lock in and be like, all right, I have to force. Like, I have to take mediocre cards because I'll get cut like so hard. Like, they aren't going to get around the table. Like, that's kind of just what you have to do. Don't you think, Ryan?
I don't know, man. Like if you're gonna splash something, it better be open. I feel like.
yeah.
Like I mean, Archangel splashing double pip is rough. It feels like, and it looks like, but
Good though.
I mean,
I
it
don't
is good. It is
Like,
good.
all, like, good cards
Like
in
I
the
think in pack 2 when you pick the Archangel, even though
deck. I just take every single white card, right?
Yeah.
no, I think you just switch to like either you base red or you go like red black or I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, this is a super hard draft though.
Like I think instead of just taking every single white card, I think it would have been better to have like the little 1/3 mana fixers and like just
I
stay
didn't
out of
see a
it.
single one. Like I was looking so hard for that. Like, because I knew that like this is probably just gonna have to slot into a blue-red deck. Like I knew that Y wasn't open.
It's just so hard to say what I would have done without being there and seeing it. But
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, hindsight's 2020. It didn't work
Yeah.
out, so there had to be a different option there. But without seeing it, I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, it was a close game, but
And there will be some times where you're just gonna lose based off your seat, right? Like or off variance or whatever.
Yeah, of
like
course.
it's just gonna happen sometimes. So
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
tough one. It was a
Like,
heartbreaker.
if you're to the left of me, you're just gonna lose. So I'm sorry. But that's just what's gonna happen.
You would have passed the Archangel.
If I would,
Wow.
it feels really bad to say this, but it depends on who is sitting to my left.
If I was, you might.
I don't think I
That's,
would have
the
passed it to
scariest.
you.
That's the scariest, right? Because like
'Cause you
one
would
of
most
two
likely
things
have
could
the
happen.
fixing, right? Like you'd
one of
already
two
have the
things
fixing.
could happen, right? Like either I could play it and just crush everyone, or I could play it and it just completely derails my entire draft.
Yeah.
Because I would let an Archangel Wrath just derail my entire draft.
In
Genuinely.
a
Like, it was
top 8
absolutely-
situation, it would depend on who's sitting next to me and the power level of the card that I want in the pack.
Yeah.
But I think 80 to 90% of the time it's correct to take it.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's all I have to say about this deck, but
All right. Well,
There you go.
no alpha this week. No alpha.
sorry, viewers,
Andrew
I'll let you
beat
guys
me.
down.
Andrew beat me. So technically, he'd be like the mega asterisk.
No, it's not alpha.
1-2
it's
alpha.
Yeah.
It's like Zeta of the week.
Oh man.
Yeah, we all got screwed this week, but
It was
I
pretty
did
rough.
okay in the top 8, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
got
top
it.
aided. You were the 2 seed basically since the 2 seed dropped.
yeah.
And so you dropped 1 game before the cut to top 8, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that
Yeah.
mean? 1 round. So that's, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
one
good.
game even, yeah.
Oh, was it best of 1?
No, I dropped one of the games. I won out of I 2-0'd 2 people and then I won to the last guy. So like
Okay.
I only dropped like 2 games. Like,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, a lot of decks couldn't deal with my first one, but yeah.
If you have one takeaway from these 2 days of long magics, what is it?
Like I'm just gonna play 5 color every week. like it's just bad. Like it's I don't know. Like sometimes it's okay just to like
Be yourself.
even though sometimes you just need to be yourself.
Just
And you just need to think like try to be disciplined, but like sometimes like you just gotta follow your heart and let
there's something
that
to be-
resurrected wheel.
There's definitely something to be said about just like play style and just like what decks feel comfortable for you, and you just get an edge by being really familiar with an archetype too.
And so one other real important thing I think I learned though, I think Nishoba Brawler is like by far the biggest payoff for the green decks. Like
It's
the
very good.
5
Yeah.
colors.
Mhm.
Like I think that's like a super banger of a card.
To me, that's
Like,
just
I've always known
that
that,
guy is my decks, right? Specifically.
But I think it's like way more important than like even the Morrows and
Oh yeah, for sure.
maybe not the Outriders. Outriders so good.
No, it is better than the
It's gotta
Outriders,
be
I think.
better.
Yeah, it is better, right? But it's also like an uncommon, right?
Yeah.
You can get there without Brawlers
You can,
and
but
Outriders.
they're huge. Like
It's a way.
there's very few cards you should be taking over a brawler early in the
Brawlers, yeah.
draft.
Yep. But that's I think our show for this week.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Catch y'all on the flippity flop.
Deuces.